So check this out. Many people will tell you that being rich and having all the money in the world won't make you happy. And they are right. But there'll be another group of people that will tell you that having no money will make you miserable. And they are also right. So these two train of thoughts are right, but the most important thing here is to have a balance of both. Like Einstein said, life is like riding a bicycle. To keep balance, you gotta keep moving. Ironically, keeping balance is the hardest thing to do in today's world because we are flooded with information all over social media about what being happy is and what being rich is. So we get clouded and we lose track of our own goals. But let's talk about the relationship between being happy and being rich. Hi, my name is Jordan and welcome to the channel. And hopefully by the end of today's video, it'll give you some insights into relationships between being happy and being rich. And on a quick note, it's not as easy as it seems, but we will get there. So if you do a quick Google search on what does it mean to be happy, it gives you a following results. It's a feeling or showing pleasure or contentment. But it doesn't really tell us much, but we all know the feeling of being happy. And to some, it's watching their plants grow. For another group of people, it's having good companionship. And for another group of people, it could be doing things they like sitting by the beach. But the best way to understand what being happy is to ask kids.
Ice cream, bubblegum, cotton candy, tacos, chicken candy.
So the way that kids describe their happiness is things that make them happy which require money like ice cream, tacos, and cotton candy. But as we grow older, our vision or our goals of happiness change, and sometimes it can make us kind of depressed.
Why am I unhappy? Okay, Stephanie Gaga hybrid person. Why are you unhappy?
I was a millionaire. I had beautiful women in my life. I had cars, a house, an incredible, a solid gold career, and a future. And yet, on a daily basis, I wanted to commit suicide.
When those things came, the happiness wasn't there, and I realized why that was. There was such an attempt to achieve these things and to keep going that you lose sight of the people and the blessings that you have around you.
And when you have all this stuff, it doesn't mean you're happy.
A lot of people think getting famous will save you, that it will grant you the life you feel you're owed and spare you certain indignities.
Some people think that winning the lottery will make them happy because they have a sudden windfall that allows them to start doing things that they really want instead of what they are currently doing. But this windfall will not last forever because when the money runs out or when it runs dry, the surge of dopamine starts to decrease, which brings us back to the state that we were in before. However, this is not saying that being rich won't make us happy. Being rich varies from person to person depending on their financial background, upbringing, and personality. But first, let's understand why some people feel that making more money will make them happy. And needless to say, having money will definitely make a lot of things really easy. So for example, with additional money right now, you'll be able to pay off your expenses, get a bigger place, if you have a big family, afford better healthcare, go for holidays, and all that great stuff. Having money reduces the worry you have for not having enough. But the funny thing about money is that it leaves you chasing for more, and there will be a point of diminishing returns. So Gretchen Nadine said that money contributes to happiness when it helps us make basic needs, but above a certain level, money does not yield more happiness. Hence the law of diminishing returns. So the law of diminishing returns predicts that after an optimal level of capacity has reached, adding an additional factor of production will result in smaller increase in outputs. So now picture this, if you're earning $50,000 a year, you want to double that to have $100,000 because who doesn't want more money? But think about it, will earning an extra $50,000 make you a happier person? So you might be able to afford more things like branded bags, invest more, travel more, buy more things. But at some point you will look back and wish that you have earned maybe $200,000 a year. So these cycles never end, and it will reach a point where you realize that even though I'm earning so much, I do not feel as happy as before. And with more money, we might end up buying similar things that we already have, And sometimes these things give us happiness and joy for that small moment. But definitely we'll want to ensure that we have a good source of income that will allow us to pay for our bills and still enjoy our life, because we humans are not made to work, pay bills, and die. Instead, what we can do is to invest in new and exciting experiences that we can remember for a lifetime. And people grow and flourish from experiences that we are not able to achieve with material goods. More often than not, we fall into a trap of comparing ourselves to others, to what they have or what they have experienced. And it's because of this sense of jealousy, saltiness, or discontentment that we have with our own lives. So now let's have the other side of the conversation of why having money will not give us happiness. One way we can see this is through a game that probably most of us have played before, called Monopoly. So a study conducted by Paul Peeve and his team at the University of Berkeley through a rigged game of Monopoly allows one of the participants to get super rich super quickly compared to everyone else in the game. And in this game of Monopoly, having the most money or assets, in this example will be houses and hotels that you can build to generate more rental revenue, which will make you the winner. So what the researchers observe is that as the players get wealthier, they become more and more progressively mean. And these players take on things like more dominant postures and start talking down to poorer participants in the game.
One of the really interesting and dramatic patterns that we observed begin to emerge was that the rich players actually started to become ruder toward the other person, less and less sensitive to the plight of those poor players, and more demonstrative of their material success.
And this is something that we can see in society as well, when many refer to the rich as meanie, scourge, and stuck-up. The team from Berkeley also did another study where they give participants $10 each and was told that they can give any amount to another participant. And on average, the richer participant gave 44% less. And on a larger scale, a study with more than 200,000 respondents revealed that being generous gave a positive effect on one's happiness in 93% of the countries, which is 120 countries out of the 136 countries that we have in this world. The conclusion of the study mentions this. From an evolution perspective, the emotional rewards that people experience when they help others may serve as a proximate mechanism that evolved to facilitate pro-social behavior, which may have carried short-term costs but long-term benefits for survival over human evolutionary history. It goes on to mention that people experience emotional benefits from sharing their financial resources with others, not only in countries where such resources are plentiful, but also in impoverished countries where scarcity may have seemed to limit the possibility to reap the gains from giving to others. So does this mean that by us being more generous with what we have gives us better mental well-being when we give others a lending hand? And at the same time, do we need to have a surplus of resources before we can help others? This is a discussion I have with my friends, and there is no definitive answer to whether having more money will truly make you happy, because having a surplus of money will keep wanting you having more. And at the same time, not having enough will also make you miserable when you're living paycheck to paycheck and not being able to provide for yourself. But at the end of the day, I feel that it's really about balancing the scales between earning more money and learning to enjoy yourself. And this will always be an ongoing process of learning and discovering yourself and finding that balance. Don't fret out if you ever feel stuck, because everyone will have that feeling once in a while. Just do not let it consume you. So this is a pretty heavy topic for me, and if you are still watching, I really appreciate it a lot if you can drop a like and subscribe if you haven't, and let me know what you feel about being happy and having more money. With that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.